Hello and welcome to Mtoto News Insight. I am Anne Wambui. Starting us off, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education has announced that the government has plans to introduce one neutral uniform for all public schools. The idea aims to improve local textile industries and also factor in parents' complaints that uniforms in some stores are overpriced. This poses a huge child protection concern, especially in the wake of increased reports of child abuse in Kenyan schools. Some of the risks include difficulty to differentiate schools, as this becomes a ground for child abusers, masquerading as learners to abuse children. It will be difficult to hold duty bearers responsible in case of a child protection concern. Addressing the press at Jogoo House, Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed said the decision has not been conclusively agreed upon.
Parents have raised that, but we'll also be listening to what the teachers say, what the school sponsors in some cases, because there are churches that sponsor schools. So we'll be listening to all the stakeholders before we make a definite decision.
Young Scientist Kenya is all about bringing new concepts into reality to change the 54-year-old country as we engage our children to use the outside classroom, curriculum, and to research for permanent scientific solutions to our needy state. Constance Ndeleko has more.
In preparation for the Young Scientist Kenya exhibition, it was important to get the adequate information on the main agenda of the exhibition and how it will benefit Kenyan children and the nation at large. We need a change, and it has come to allow us to demonstrate innovations and showcase our scientific talent. Thus, let us embrace this transformation. Young Scientist Kenya is the first science and technology exhibition to be held in the country, where over 81 schools entered 92 projects and 184 students in participation, as it aimed at encouraging and popularizing science and technology amongst young children. Kenya is a resourceful country with great potential of innovations of ideas that can be used as practical solutions in solving issues that affect the society. Young Scientist Kenya is modeled on the internationally acclaimed British Telecom Young Scientist and Technology Exhibition in Ireland and local science affairs such as Kenya Science, Engineering Fair, and Young Scientists. Well, let us find out why the exhibition is of importance to Kenya and why now.
I'm involved with the Young Scientists Tanzania. So we were the first country in Africa to bring the Irish model to Africa. And the reason why we chose Tanzania was because I had been working with researchers, about 40 researchers from East Africa in Ireland, in Maynooth University as part of the Combat Diseases of Poverty Consortium, of which I was the education officer. So we had about maybe 20 researchers or so from Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania. So they were PhD researchers, some of them were doctors, lecturers in universities. I decided, okay, let's bring them out to schools to see what's happening in Ireland. And they couldn't believe some of the projects that they were working on. I was introducing them to young kids in Ireland who were working on projects around malaria, working on HIV, working on mining the genome for malaria. And all of these people just thought, this is quite incredible. How can you have young kids doing such remarkable research? So they asked me to look at the idea of maybe bringing this model to Africa.
Protecting the young from vaccine-preventable diseases is a community-wide effort. In Leaving No Child Behind, a campaign in Kenya has gone the distance to make vaccines work for every child and is contributing in many different ways to these goals. Peter Midwa filed a report.
From 11th to 15th July, the Ministry of Health Kenya, with support from UNICEF Kenya, World Health Organization and Kenya Red Cross will conduct a door-to-door polio vaccination campaign targeting 2.4 million children under 5 years in high-risk counties including Nairobi, Kajiado, Kiambu, Kitui, Machakos, Meru, Isiolo, Tana River, Lamu, Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. The vaccination drive is a response to a live polio virus found in sewage in Eastleigh in March 21st this year during routine surveillance. Polio can cause paralysis that leads to muscles withering away and children being permanently disabled. This campaign calls for effective prevention of the infection to ensure that the lives of children are saved. Peter Midwa, Mtoto News.
And finally, on international news, 12 football teammates and their coach have been rescued from a cave after they were reported missing since June 24th in northern Thailand. The rescue operation to find the young football team has so far been successful, bringing a total of 9 out of 13 rescued despite weather setbacks during Monday's retrieving mission. According to CNN, the football team had come from a game practice before agreeing to explore the caves in celebration of one of their teammates' birthday. Little did they know the monsoon rains would later trap them in the cave for 9 days before the Thai Navy divers could reach their location. So far, the team is undergoing medical treatment and observation in case of any diseases and will later be reunited with their families who have been camping at the foot of the cave in Chiang Rai, Thailand. The operation hopefully ends on Tuesday to save the remaining group, bringing an end to that mission. That report brings us to the end of this week's bulletin. Follow us on all social media platforms at Mtoto News. I am Anne Wambui.